Good afternoon, Orange and Amber class. Today we are going to be identifying ways to care for the environment. So look at this photo of a classroom. What is wrong? How do you feel seeing the litter everywhere? Why is it important that we don't litter? Pause the video now and talk to your adult. So today we are going to think about how we can look after our planet. Talk to your adult about any ideas that you have. So we can recycle. Recycling is when things we no longer use are made into something new. We'll have a look at this symbol. Do you recognise this symbol? It says recycle, reduce, reuse. If you see this symbol on an object, it means that it can be recycled. So maybe have a look at home and see if on any of your packaging, if you can see this symbol. And it's got 3 arrows going round in a circle. So let's have a think about what can be recycled. So my tin of soup that I'm having for my lunch, I'm not going to put this in the bin, in the normal rubbish bin. I'm going to put this in the recycling bin because this tin can be recycled. My yogurt pot, this is made of plastic and this can be recycled too. My tissue box, that is made of card and that can be recycled too. Things like glass bottles, they can be recycled, and even old clothes. So why is it good to recycle? Recycling is good because it means that we have less rubbish littering our world. This helps to protect animals and their homes by making sure less rubbish ends up in places like forests and seas. It also means less trees are cut down to make new things. Have a look at this picture. That doesn't look like a very happy place, does it, for an animal to live? That's why it's so important for us not to litter and to recycle. So where do we put our recycling? We can recycle our rubbish at home. We put it in a recycling bin and a truck comes to empty the bin from outside our homes. So we have a paper and card bin, don't we, for our recycling, and we have another bin with a purple lid where we put our plastic and our glass and our tin. We can also take our rubbish to a recycling centre or to recycling banks. These can be found at places such as supermarkets. The rubbish is sorted at a large place called a recycling facility. It is put into large bundles and taken to factories where it is turned into something new. So let's find out more about recycling facilities. We're going to watch a video clip now. It's a BBC Teach clip from YouTube.
A faraway planet similar to Earth, but ruined by bad environmental choices. A spaceship with 2 aliens and a shipboard computer visit Earth and discover from TV signals that we are making similar mistakes. As the computer collects the data, Rob and Andy's mission is to discover firsthand how to care for the environment.
Andrew, do I ever show you a picture of my house?
Oh no, let's have a look. Nice, tidy garden.
Yeah, it's only a little bit tidier than yours.
We never really did sort out the problem of getting rid of waste, did we? I wonder if Earth people act more responsibly when it comes to getting rid of rubbish. Where are we, Rob?
We're just outside Manchester. And look, people have taken all these unwanted clothes and have sorted them so they can be reused. I see many of the clothes go to vintage clothing shops or are sent overseas.
That's excellent.
The really used or worn items are
Why do you think that they're taken overseas? to help people who don't have many clothes, because they might be able to make use of your old clothes too. That's why it's really important to recycle them and not just throw them away.
Headed down to make like industrial cleaning pots. What are you all doing?
Well, when people don't want things anymore, it's very wasteful to throw them in the bin.
Yeah, often things can be reused. I gave some old clothes I didn't want anymore to this place, and I'll go to people who do want them.
We're going to ask our spaceship computer for more information on why what you're doing here is so important.
Hello, I'm Sid the computer. I've discovered that as the population of the world increases, the problem of what to do with waste increases too. Rubbish tips called landfill sites are filling up fast. Some irresponsible people dump rubbish by the side of the road, woodlands, rivers, oceans and seas. In fact, anywhere. They just don't care. So, for example, food and organic waste in the ocean can turn into food that sea creatures can eat. But we all use plastics a lot, and plastics are a real problem as they never fully decompose into anything useful. Plastics break down into smaller particles, releasing chemicals that sea animals mistake for food, and this passes toxic chemicals into the food chain. In the end, these dangerous chemicals can even end up in human food. From my research, I've found the best way to deal with waste is to think about the 4 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and rethink. Reduce. Cut down the quantity of waste you and your family produce in the first place. Shopping with your own sturdy bags is an example, so you don't throw away plastic bags that can only be used a few times at the most.
So who has reusable bags at home that they use for their shopping? That's a really good one, isn't it? Instead of using plastic bags that you just throw away.
To companies that use too much packaging, they need to get the message. For example, buy loose fruit rather than pre-packaged fruit. That way, you can also pick the nicest.
So lots of our food comes in plastic packaging, doesn't it? And it's packaging that can't be recycled.
Reuse. This can be real fun, making new things out of old junk.
I'm just going to stop it there to tell you that this week for our maths learning, we're going to be creating a rocket using junk modelling. So we're going to be recycling our waste and our packaging to create something new, which is really fantastic. So we're going to be doing some recycling this week too.
Finding new purposes for old unwanted things, giving new life to old rubbish. All sorts of things can be made into flower pots. And here we see some cubs doing an activity creating bird feeders for the garden made out of old drinks bottles and a couple of wooden spoons. Recycle. Separate out waste into different categories, like the people are doing at this local tip. And waste can often be very useful. For example, metals and wood can be recycled into new building materials, and plastic bottles can be churned up in a factory and made into things like football kits. And rethink. It's up to all of us to be more responsible in what we consume and throw away. Back over to you.
I took some of the rubbish off the spaceship. Will you come and help me recycle it down the tip?
Sid, beam us up.
Ah, here we are. Right. What does this sign mean?
It means it's possible to be recycled after use.
Did you see on that symbol it had the 3 arrows, didn't it? And that means that you can recycle it.
Places in the UK have great recycling schemes. So a house could have different bins to separate paper and card, glass and tins, food and garden waste, as well as general waste that can't be recycled.
If you have a lot of rubbish, you can come to places like this, where there's even more categories for waste.
So what about all this? Well, anything that can't be recycled can be made into green energy. Just about everything here has got a positive use.
You two haven't been talking rubbish at all.
That's enough laughter. You need to get back to the spaceship and upload this information.
Fantastic. We learnt all about recycling facilities there. So we can use a reusable bottle to reduce plastic use. So for example, my coffee, instead of buying the coffee and using a paper cup with a plastic lid, I've got my reusable cup for my coffee. The same with my water that I have. I use a reusable water bottle instead of buying plastic bottles from the supermarket that will just be thrown away. We can also use paper straws to help sea life. We can put rubbish in the bin and pick up litter. We can help to tidy our beaches to help stop plastic getting into the oceans. So if you go to the beach or to the park, it's really important that you don't leave your rubbish behind from a picnic. Otherwise it can end up in our oceans, can't it? And then it will be bad for our sea life. So we can help the planet by reducing the amount we drive and walk or cycle or take the bus instead. This reduces pollution. We can plant more trees to help the planet. This helps global warming. And we can be kind to animals. We could make a bug hotel and put out bird feeders. Oh, maybe you could make a bird feeder like in the video. That looked great fun. We can turn off the tap to help save water. So you should turn off the tap whilst cleaning your teeth. Don't let the tap keep running whilst you're brushing. Just use a little bit of water on your toothbrush and then turn it off. Brush your teeth and then turn the tap back on to rinse out the sink and rinse your teeth. Don't leave it running, otherwise that wastes a lot of water. Okay, so your independent task today is to show how you can help to take care of our planet. You're going to ask an adult to take a photo of you caring for our planet. For example, putting out the recycling. As a challenge, maybe you could create a poster to put up in your window to remind others how to care for our planet. Well done, everybody.